Okay, Judith, that Chinwe, and everyone, please come
Hello,
forward.
baby.
How are you?
Good, good, good. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, that's the Chinwe. Okay, Judith, that Chinwe, and everyone, please come forward. Thank you. Let me mute the one on YouTube. Okay, just echoing. Yes, we are almost good to go. Set here live on YouTube and also live here on Zoom and also live on YouTube. Oh, thanks for coming early. We have about 7 minutes to go. So let me confirm whether you can see my screen and then we go like that. Okay, let me try to share my screen. My screen. Yeah, can you hear me? I want to be sure you can see my screen. Okay, please come over. You can see my screen. We can see my screen. Just write yes on the chat. Oh, okay.
NTO. The third one.
Okay, I think it's about time. Just to again confirm that you can hear me. Okay, we are about to start. Let me just many people are trying to join, either 1, 2, 3 minutes, and then we start. Like I mentioned earlier, we are both here on Zoom and also live on YouTube. So for the Zoom platform, those that register for the training, but you can share the YouTube link to your friends that you want to join directly. So I will just share it on our Zoom chat. So you need to start. So Stop sharing for now. Okay. Yeah, thanks so much. So that's the direct link on the YouTube channel. We'll just wait a few more minutes and then we'll start. Yeah, thanks so much for the comments. Yeah, I mentioned earlier that we can just start to introduce ourselves. Thanks for those that have done it already. Sunny, Bashir, thanks so much. So just use the comment section both here on YouTube and both here on Zoom and on YouTube. A brief introduction, your name and relation and where you are joining us from. And so in the next 2 minutes, we'll start. I've already shared the link on YouTube. So those that couldn't join here, could just our colleagues that want to be part of this program, we can just share the YouTube link and ask them to subscribe so that they can get notifications when we come up again. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks so much. So let's use the comments here on YouTube and here on Zoom and on YouTube. Brief introduction of yourself. My name is, I think just like, let me start. My name is Evans. So yeah, Professor of Economics at Current University and Chair of DIaDeRC. Let's wait for now. Okay. Okay, so yeah, thanks so much. Those are doing it already. That's wonderful. Okay, one is 5 minutes past 6. So it's Nigeria time starts. We have 1 minute more and then we'll just start. Okay, thanks so much for those already did it. Chinwe, thanks so much. One minute, we are good to go. I already shared my screen for the agenda is loaded and have our speakers, facilitators right in the house. And so many persons hopping in, please hopping. Okay, thanks so much, Olubumi, joining from IFE. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks so much, Chinwe. Okay, by my time, it's time to start. Right. Okay, I'll just share my screen again and then we move on from there. Thank you, everyone. Right, so I share my screen and I will start. Thanks so much, everyone. That is my screen. Okay. So this agenda we have for today. Already done this one. Okay. All right. So I'm taking the very first one, we call remarks, and then after that, we read the profile of the facilitators, and then we have them present a quick session by Dr. Chiwe and Dr. Judith and Dr. Chiwe, and then we have time for Q&A, and then we'll take some announcement and closing. So these are the items on our agenda for today. Okay, so I want to take the first one, and we run on for them. But I want to be sure that we can hear me, please. If you can hear me, just write yes. I want to be sure.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you so much. Great. So let me take the first one, which is a welcome remark. And if in case you didn't join last week, my name is Evans Osaboye. I'm the professor of economics at Commerce University, and also the privileged founding chair of DIaDeRC, the PERCO's Institutions and Development Research Center in Ogun State, Nigeria. So this series is the sixth edition of African Scholars Mentorship Network. So I want to say I welcome you in the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. For me, it's a great privilege to host it. When we started in 2023, we didn't know how it would go, but after the past 5 editions, and this is the sixth one, it's been amazing for the testimonial, for the feedback. So I must say thank you so much for being there for us. And as I will show shortly, we're seeing people having that with us since inception. So that first year, 2023, we had a 2 series. 2024, last year, we had 2 series. And this is the second one for this year. We'll do 2 in a year. And I want to appreciate my big brother and collaborator, Dr. Taiwo Afolabi, Professor Taiwo Afolabi, who is the chair of Center at the University of Virginia, that we've been hosting this one for the past 2 editions. I want to appreciate him for that. And those of us that were around last week, you would agree with me that it was a nice session. And in case you miss it, it's also on the YouTube. So go back over to it on episode 1, so you can relive the experience we shared. Having said that, today is episode 2. This one's already covered. So we started last week from the 26th of October. I will be on till on the 16th of November, every Sunday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Nigerian time, GMT+1. I know some of us are in different time zones, but do your best to connect, and you'll be glad you did. And secondly, is that we stream live on YouTube, so you can always use our YouTube channel. If you subscribe, you always have it join us from everywhere. And in case anything you miss out the live one, you can always go over it again, and you'll be glad you did. Okay. So for today, I'm taking the first one here. After that, we go to the profile of the facilitators, and then we present and take Q&A. So it's a loaded day, and thankfully, our wonderful ladies are in the house. We shall hear from them shortly, and we shall introduce them shortly. Then after that, the next Sunday, we'll be joining on the issue of publications, and Romanus and Dr. Solomon will be doing just that. They've been doing that for the past 2 editions, and it's another time to have that session again. Then lastly, we have the episode 4. We have another guest, and that day we'll be taking testimonials and taking certificates for those who meet the requirements. As we have shared before, I will do a recap today. Okay, so this one I won't go over it again. We took time last week on it, so I will encourage us to go over it. Last week session on YouTube. I won't go over it because we gave the background to the training, and also some of the framework that we work as a mentorship network for our own sessions. And also the impact pyramids. So there are also the roles that are related: supervision, coaching, and mentorship. All of these were treated last week, so there's no point going over it. I want to encourage us to go through them on our YouTube session. Okay, and the relevance of mentorship are quite many, so we treated them last week. A few of them, we cannot exhaust them, so we can also go by it. And how to choose your mentor, just to make sure again that your mentor, we use the word mentor to spell it, someone that motivates you, exemplifies what you want to do, and not just your idea, that targets your potential, and that observes your growth process and then relates with result. So on ASMN 6.0, I will give us a short brief on that before we introduce our speakers and we go on to them. So one thing we found is this one that in terms of registration is the highest one we've ever received, with over 460 participants registered from different parts of the world. And for gender balance, we are seeing that in all of the episodes, if you compare that with the 5.0, we are seeing a good difference. But for gender, our sources were far above 40% female gender, which is also very interesting. Then for those that joined the previous one from 1.0 to 5.0, we're seeing a few of them following us to 1.0. And one thing that also stood for us is that for this 6.0, we have over 85% joining for the first time, which is also very interesting that we're reaching out to new territory. And what again wired us for this particular 6.0 is that looking at the countries from where participants are registered came from, we have them from well over 30 countries, to be precise, 34 countries, and across the major countries of the world, from Brazil in South America to US, North America, Europe, and even Asia, there, and then also across different countries of Africa. The ones in blue are the ones that have the passport for the first time joining us, while the ones in yellow are the ones that are outside Africa, which I mentioned last week. So without major ado, I will come back to announcement later on. I want to quickly call on one of my team members, Dr. Aminat, if you are there, let's take them in quick succession. Dr. Aminat, if you can hear
Yes,
me.
thank you, sir.
Thank
Good
you.
evening, all participants. We are glad to have you here. So I'm to take the profile of our facilitator, person of Dr. Chinwe Peace Ngiri. She is an accomplished scholar and transformative leader in artificial intelligence and education, and she had her PhD in software engineering from Amity University in India and serves as the acting director for open distance and e-learning at Mountain Top University, where she is presently a senior lecturer at Cavendish University, Uganda, and the technical editor of the Cavendish International Journal of Science and Technology. In her leadership, she continues to shape the digital transformation, AI literacy, and technological-driven learning across Africa. She is a consultant for the Education Collaborative Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Diagnostic, EED2. Dr. Chinwe supports the design and implementation of the frameworks that strengthens innovation and entrepreneurship in higher education. She has also co-developed and facilitated the course on applied data science on the DIaDeRC platform. She is a widely published researcher with several cited works in reputable international journals. She remains deeply committed to advancing ethical, inclusive, and transformative applications of AI in education and research. With this profile, we welcome Dr.
Let's take the second one, please. The second one is there. I have two of them today. Let's take them together. Dr. Judith,
Okay.
please. Go ahead. No.
Okay, so I'm also reading the profile of Dr. Judith Annie. She holds a doctorate degree in sociology and she's currently a postdoctoral fellow at Walter Sisulu University in South Africa. She has an interest in gender, aging, and environmental issues. She served as the Chief Operating Officer and Director of Research at Inspire World International Foundation and lead the programs unit at the DEPECOS Institution and the Development Research Center in Nigeria. That's DIaDeRC. She is a founder of ERSD and has implemented the WASH HIV and HPV vaccine project in collaboration with the EU and UNICEF, IVAC, and NPHCDA. Our research focuses on gender-based violence, climate change, using intersectional approaches to inform inclusive policies and sustainable equity-driven community interventions.
Okay, so with that, please, you can clap your hands with your emoji. Let's welcome. So the Judy is taking over first, and then afterwards, the show will come on. So please clap your hands digitally and appreciate them. The Judy, you have the space. Thank you.
So thank you very much. I hope you all can hear me. Good evening, everyone.
Loud and clear.
For joining us from. So thank you very much. Let me go straight to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma.
Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you so much. I welcome everyone once again who has joined us. It's also a privilege to be speaking at this webinar. I'll be presenting alongside with Dr. Chinwe, just like you've heard. And I will be speaking on leveraging AI for credible research process. But before you do, there are certain things you need to be aware of, because AI is something that has come to stay, whether or not we want it. I'll be speaking on some core issues, including stating what the objective of my presentation is, how AI creates opportunities for researchers, how AI can be misused, and the implication and other core issues I'll be speaking on. So the truth is that AI has come to transform the research process from brainstorming to publishing. AI should always be seen as a co-thinker, as an assistant, and as a collaborator. Definitely not a replacement. And that is where a lot of scholars are getting it wrong. Already, students, faculty, people in the industries are using AI vigorously for idea generations, topic development, data analysis, and all of that. But before you even begin to do all of these things, there are core things that you should be aware of so that you don't fall short of academic integrity and credibility as a researcher. Sorry. So, some of you may have filled the short survey we sent out, and I just teased out some parts that are of interest to me for this presentation. And it is very interesting to learn and to know that the majority of people who completed that questionnaire are lecturers, researchers, postgraduate students, and a lot of them are already familiar, which also make our work very easier this evening. Um, a lot of people have used ChatGPT, well over 80%, Elicit, Gemini, Cite AI, and DeepSeek, and their corresponding percentages. And then where the interest also lies is also in experience using AI assisted tools. 35.4% say they don't have any experience at all. And 53.1% say that they have used AI tool. And I don't know, the people that say they are not sure, I don't know whether or not they mean that they don't know whether or not they have used AI. But where is of primary interest to me is actually the last variable that says self-rated AI mastery. 45% are just beginning to explore AI tools, while 35 just said it's still at functional level. So it is safe to say that well over about 80% are still basic AI users. which is very critical for our presentation this evening. So at the end of my presentation, you should be able to understand how AI tools can strengthen research credibility. You should also be able to recognize the risk of misuse, bias, and misinformation, and develop a mindset of AI literacy, ethics, and critical reflection using AI. So there are so many definitions of AI, generative AI, but I just took this definition from UKZN, which is the University of KwaZulu-Natal, which is one of those few universities so far that have come up with some policies guiding the use of AI in research in their academic institution. And they define generative AI as systems that create new content and engage conversationally and contextually with users. Please underline that word, engaging conversationally and contextually. And then sorry, excuse me, I don't know why this is not moving. Okay. So already we know that AI has a lot of opportunities for researchers, from topic development, brainstorming, identifying gaps in research, for literature review, for analysis, for writing and editing, even up until dissemination. But before you do, what are those foundational mindsets you should have? It's just like when a child is eager to, do some certain things or maybe drive. I don't know, for some of you that already have kids, especially teenagers, they are always eager to do some things, maybe to drive a car, but whether or not they know or they have seen people drive cars, they must go to a driving school, get some license, to be able to drive cars safely. So before you even use AI for your research, you should have some certain foundational mindset, and you should be asking yourself some critical questions. You should have it at the back of your mind that there is every need to maintain academic integrity, and you must verify your outputs from this artificial intelligence. And I'll tell you why later in the slide on how it can cost you your reputation if you don't use it well. And some publishers and some funders also demand that you acknowledge AI use. And that is where reputation and credibility comes in. Some journals also have their policy on AI use. Some institutions, some funders say that you must declare AI. Please do it if they require it. There's no big deal about that. After all, there's no knowledge that is entirely and totally new. So I want to quickly show you some things that you can actually do with this AI of a thing, and have it at the back of your mind that there are also caveats, when you are using this. Of course, my co-presenter will come in with the practical aspects of it on one of these tools that I'm going to talk about. So when you want to develop your topic or generate some problem or your research question, of course, it's all about brainstorming and maybe looking at trend analysis, looking at systematic literature. There are certain AI tools, and the beautiful thing about this right now is that unlike when ChatGPT was so much in vogue, there are some AI tools that has come up now that are specifically designed for research. And an example is this heuristica. Heuristica is very good for concept mapping. There's also the chi-square, and I learned that the person that developed this chi-square is a Nigerian, and I quickly went there to see what it can do. Chi-square has the ability to, help you generate or help you tailor your research questions, and as it's helping you, when you give it a topic, it will help you formulate that title into a topic and help you generate some objective, some research questions, and it is very conversational. There's also the size space, and I know that many of us also mentioned it. There's also the research kick. Research kick is also very, very good. Heuristica, I find it very interesting because as also a qualitative researcher, it will help you create concepts, concept mapping. But the caveat there is these things can overgeneralize, and you just have to verify whatever it's giving you manually, and always have it at the back of your mind so that as an AI user, you are the expert. Please do not leave the expertise for the AI. It is just like you driving a car. You are still in control. You are the driver, and AI is just your partner. So talking about literature review, there are some tools, things like Research Pal, Paper Pal, TypeSeed, Cite AI, Elicit. Even for conceptual framework development, data analysis. For data analysis, there's also this one called Q Insights that is kind of a conversational AI that you can also use. I have used that and it's very, very good. Although there is the free version and there's also the paid version of that Q Insights, especially for qualitative analysis. Of course, a lot of you may know also about the Atlas AI. It's a software, but they now have AI embedded in them. But regardless of them, you should be also wary of representativeness and also other ethical issues. Writing and editing, AI can help you. We all know about Quillbot, Grammarly, PaperPal, referencing and citation, and the list go on and on. So the reason why I'm breaking it down for you is to show you that at every stage you are in research, there is an AI tool that can also always help you. And the essence of AI is to help you increase efficiency and productivity, and not to replace your thinking. AI is very innovative and it brings about advancements in the academic circle, which is unprecedented, but you must use it creatively for knowledge generation, know about ethical issue, and it's important to build people's capacity, just like DIaDeRC and ASMN is doing for this program. Full disclosure, like I said, is very, very important. And there is something I called hallucinated references. AI is capable of doing that. For some of you that use ChatGPT, you know that sometimes when you are working with ChatGPT or telling ChatGPT to, help you do one or two things, when you have given it a prompt, you can attest that it comes up with some references. Sometimes when I'm bored, after I've worked so hard, I just play on ChatGPT and it gives some certain referencing, and when I search for those references, is nowhere to be found on database and even on the internet. And that leaves me, and when you see such references, it fits into the topic you give it. So if you don't do your due diligence, you may likely take that one and put it there. So why I'm repeating this and this is that a lot of people have come to understand what AI is capable of doing. So you should be able to use AI smartly. And the second presenter will also show you the how you can do this. So you must be very, very specific in your promptings, and then you must use AI for clarity, not to create content or not to create your work. Remember, when you are creating, you are starting from the scratch. So do not use AI to create, rather use AI to enhance. I believe that as time goes on, as AI become even much more popular than it is now, all of these things will become more glaring on efficiency, use on AI, and using AI to create things. You will definitely see the difference. And I want to quickly point out to say that when you are using AI for research, be you an undergrad or a postgrad, a lot of supervisors now require, especially those of them who are open-minded about the use of AI. A lot of supervisors still, or some faculties still don't want their students to use AI. But for some of them that are open-minded on AI, they will want you to show them the prompts and you use and that is for transparency. And they want to know step by step how you were able to come up with what you did. So this also brings me to some important things on what I want to talk about, which will lead me to some example and a short story I will tell you on the misuse of AI. First, please, as a researcher, do not over rely on AI. AI can give you generic, shallow writing that lacks originality. And I will also tell you what some funders, real examples of what some funders have said about the use of AI for so those of you that are interested in grant application. Like I said before, AI can hallucinate. You know how it is when people hallucinate, they just talk out of blues and it generates fake citations and even data, even some non-existent data for you. AI can also create contextual gap, and I'm going to show you what funders have also said about the use of AI and how it creates disciplinary mismatch. And AI also raises some ethical issues. So the action is to be able to verify, make sure that when people read your research, they can hear your voice. So if you keep it at the back of your mind that you are using AI to perfect your writing, you are using AI to enhance your writing, your voice will always be louder than the use of AI in your work. So the first example I want to give on the misuse of AI, it's a real life case that happened in America, specifically in New York. So there is this lawyer who has practiced over 30 years, a very successful lawyer. So a client who had an issue with an airline came to him. Apparently, this client had used the airline but sustained some serious injury in the airplane that he flew. So he met that legal practitioner, that's the lawyer, and they went to court against the airline. So this lawyer, very intelligent and sound lawyer after all, he went to ChatGPT and keyed in some prompts, and ChatGPT interestingly came up with some citations and some precedents relating to the case that he was handling. And he even went on to ask ChatGPT, is this a real life example? Is this a real case that you generated? And ChatGPT said yes, that it is real. Unfortunately, when he came to court and presented those precedents and those citations, which obviously are fake, the judge was able to say that this case has never, ever existed. Now, remember that this man has asked ChatGPT, is this a real case? And ChatGPT said, yes, it is. It is correct and it has happened. Okay, but when they went and searched in that year he mentioned that case, it was nowhere to be found. So it was just one of those products of AI hallucinations. So the judge said that, that of course there is nothing inherently wrong in using AI, but lawyers, have a gatekeeping rule to ensure accuracy. Just like as I'm telling you now that be you faculty, be you a postgrad, there is absolutely nothing in using AI. AI is an enhancer, okay? But the problem lies in ensuring, accuracy. And the lawyer didn't go scot-free like that. He was, fined a total of $5,000. Imagine, coming to represent a client and you end up as a lawyer being asked to pay some certain fine. So AI, you don't use AI blindly, and Dr. Chinwa is going to show you how you can do these things. And the second example, which is very important for those of us who are faculty members and even postgrad who are also doing a support role in our universities or wherever we are working. There is this professor, his name is Jared Mon, and he's another real life example. So he told his student that he's going to give them an assessment, and that anyone who misses the assessment will write the second one. And the second one is going to be even more difficult than the first one. And then he went on to tell his student that he will turn in their work on ChatGPT to know whether they used AI to write that assignment. So when this professor turned in their works on ChatGPT, ChatGPT claimed ownership of what those students have written. And this man failed almost all his students in the class. So people were surprised. How can a whole class fail? And one person who said no, and this person who disagreed is even not a student, but a partner to a student that was failed. So this partner of this student went to tweet, just like Twitter, the X that we have now. It's another platform. And then he asked some questions and told people about this. And this generated generated some triggered some actions, some comments, statements, and interest from all over, the world. And people came to say, and the interesting thing was that these students don't even know about ChatGPT. I can tell you that as much as ChatGPT is very current now, when ChatGPT came out, not everybody knew about it. These students, so invariably, this professor was even letting this student know that there was something called ChatGPT, and this student didn't write with it. So people came up to say that AI can create false claim. AI can even claim ownership of your work. And I have also been in some webinars where the facilitator said that he did a work, and after he did that work, he put it on ChatGPT. ChatGPT said, yes, it's 100% AI generated, but it is not true. And this also brings important questions on AI detectors. The truth is that some of them are actually not capable of even detecting human writing. So on grant writing and AI, remember I told you that there are certain things some funders have said on the use of AI. As I'm beginning to wrap up my application, my presentation. Okay, so remember that AI can only support you and not replace you. AI cannot give you that conceptual depth. AI cannot give you originality in your thinking. However, AI can be useful for a logical flow or brainstorming and problem, for editing, for polishing, and AI can also help you, write your letters better, especially when you want to, when you want to submit a research paper. Journals will require that you write a cover letter. Okay, I personally use AI, especially for writing. When I write in my own language, I give it AI to polish for me, and when it brings it back, I also correct it again to fit exactly what I want it to fit and to use the exact words I want it to use. So this is exactly what some funders said when people submitted their application. These funders said that some of the applications were heavily AI generated, and therefore it lacked conceptual depth and contextual relevance. So they were able to know what was written by humans and what AI generated. Research that AI generated is not deep. It is also not contextually relevant. You may argue that you have written some nice papers that have been published. Yes, I can also agree with you, but you did not just put in that topic on AI and then you carried everything. You have worked on it. That's what we are saying. AI acted as your assistant and not your driver. Another thing these funders said is that proposers had good language, very polished language, but had weak substance, which suggested the overuse of AI. And there was no authenticity in what they are writing. In other words, AI fluency or language fluency does not translate to research credibility. The fact that your research knows very well or reads very well doesn't mean that that research is credible. And also remember, for those of you who are interested in applying for grants, remember that funders appreciate originality, they appreciate depth and contextual understanding. I am also going to show you in detail other tools that you can use for that. But the keynotes I want you to take from this presentation is that generative AI tools are not considered authors. Okay, generative AI should not displace or replace you. AI should not be the driver. AI is just something that works on probability, not on fact, unless you feed it in with that. So it should be your assistant and not the driver. And you remain responsible for whatever output you generate. So AI has come to stay. It won't replace you, but someone who uses it well might replace you. AI can never, will never make you a better researcher, but the way you use it might make you a better researcher. Remember to always balance efficiency with your integrity and verify and validate every output. So this is my last slide. Thank you for listening so far. I said that I do not own rights to this compilation. I saw it somewhere. It's a disclaimer I am putting out. So these are some of tools that are specifically for research. I've mentioned the heuristic. I've mentioned research kickstarts. I've mentioned Cite AI and so many of them. You can see generative AI applications. You can use AI-powered writing assistants. You can see search engines for researchers, even the one that can help you brainstorm. Remember, okay, Chi-Square is not here. Chi-Square can also help you brainstorm, get your research questions, and find a research gap. This is also another one that you can use for copy editing and proofreading, thematic analysis, so many of them, even your reference manager that a lot of you are very used to. There are so many things you can do with AI. So I will stop here and my co-presenter will continue from here, at the end of which we will all share our experience and thoughts and ask our questions. So thank you so much for your kind attention.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Judy. Please, if you can clap your digital hands, quickly do that, quickly do that. Thanks so much. Yeah, so you can stop sharing now so that you can just jump to the next presenter, who is our AI expert, Dr. Chiwe. Over to you. Thank you so much for that. Yes. So please, so we can get our comments coming, whether here on Zoom or on Zoom on YouTube. Let's get our comments coming, please. Thanks so much. Yeah, Madam Judith, sorry, Madam Chinwe, you have the space now. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Prof. Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're welcome to the second section. Thank you so much, Dr. Judith. You have done justice to this. So she has almost taken care of what I wanted to say, but there's still something to talk about. The topic before us, I grabbed something out of this. And you know what? We could develop this topic together. I remember when I shared, or we shared the Google form to find out what you want. And that was from there, I was able to come up with this. So this is from idea to conceptual framework, using AI responsibly in scholarly research. So the goal is basically to transform research idea into a literature-grounded conceptual framework. Let's see ethically, by the way. Let's see who is writing on my screen. Let's see how far we can go. So this is the little me, and this is what I believe. I believe that AI is not a threat to relevance, but a call to readiness. It empowers those who embrace it and replaces those who resist. And so AI has come to stay, and we just have to embrace it and use it ethically and be able to do what we ought to do. Because if we don't, AI will leave us behind. And I refuse to be left behind. I don't think anyone wants to be left behind. So why responsible use of AI is important? I'm not going to go through this. Yes, Dr. Judy have done justice to that. So basically in this session or this subsession, we want to look at how we can configure ChatGPT. Why did we choose ChatGPT? For two reasons. Number one, 97% of everyone that participated in that survey acknowledged that they have used ChatGPT and they are using ChatGPT. Then number two, ChatGPT is very good, and it has some element of privacy if you configure it very well, if you know how to configure it. And I've checked out other AI tools. I'm still struggling to see those that have the same feature where you can configure the privacy level you have in ChatGPT. And so that is why we're choosing to use this. We also want to see how we can use AI to refine novel topics. We can just generate the topic from AI and also use the same AI to refine the topic and move from. Also, we want to see how we can use ChatGPT or any other generative AI to develop the theory and also the conceptual framework, because I understand that scholars sometimes struggle in these two areas, and there are tools that could help us work around this. So here, this is the idea. The idea is that I just have a research idea, and my idea is that I want to find out what is AI impact on academic work in African universities. So the goal is to walk from idea to theory-supported conceptual framework. I hope we'll be able to cover this before the time is up. So I'm going to go to exit this slide, but I think it is better for me to complete this theory. Then we'll go to ChatGPT, we'll go to the lab. So first, there are steps you can take to configure the ChatGPT application, which is a typical generative AI most of us are familiar with. So we go to control. I have this on the slide so that you can do it on your own. You go to settings, go to data control. You have to turn up, improve the model for everyone. And then you can use temporary chat for sensitive information. Then, if you must upload something and that is sensitive, then don't use igniter mode. Yes, I think that's it. Yeah, this is the right slide for it. Yes, if you must upload something that is very, very sensitive and you must use it, then use the incognito mode. This incognito mode, I will show you how we can use that if you want to use the ChatGPT and you want to use the incognito mode. So the steps you can take. We'll do practical part of it. So the phase 2 is to refine the research topic. And here we have right, this is blocking me. Okay, so this is a prompt we want to use to define the research idea. Remember, I said from idea, I just told ChatGPT here, you are an academic researcher exploring how artificial intelligence impacts scholarly work in African universities. You want to refine this idea into a novel and researchable topic. I want to let you know also that when you are the way you prompt the generative AI matters a lot. But no matter how you prompt generative AI, it will definitely hallucinate. Hallucination is part of the design because the way it is designed, it is meant to explore a lot of things beyond what is built on. So hallucination is part of it to help the system to be robust. So here's the context. I've mentioned the context, then the instruction. This is just copy this and give to your generative AI, tweak it to what is useful in your own case or what is applicable in your own case. The instruction, so you give it the context, you give it instruction, you give the constraint, then you give it the expected output. I choose this CICE model because most time it helps the ChatGPT to have a better understanding on what you want to do. As some people call it role, you start from role, give it a role. The same thing, context is the role. You are telling it that it's an academic researcher. So the instructions say identify emerging gaps and underexplored areas based on recent studies from 2019 to 2025. Now, suggest 5 potential research topics that are specific, original, and feasible for higher education research. Then I'm giving it the constraint. I say each topic must include a key construct, literacy, such as AI literacy, research productivity, digital transformation, policy. Now, the next constraint is that indicate whether each proposed topic has appeared frequently in current literature and recommend one that shows strongest potential for novelty. Then the third constraint, when appropriate, draw insights from scholarly database. And I've given you some of the scholarly database for validation. And the expected output, I also tell you the expected output, I need a structured list that contains proposals such as this, and put it in ChatGPT and it will give me something. Whatever it gives me, remember the first presenter have told us that we do not rely on what it gives us. We should make our input, refine it, and define exactly what you want. So we're going to see what it will give us, and you can try it out. So let's look at this, this part of this presentation, searching and mapping literature. The objective is to, once you have selected a topic, now let's assume that we're giving it and you have selected a topic for it, identify several topics, we select one of the topics, and it was also able to identify and map the related topic for us from various databases. Now, what do we need to do? We need to verify that whatever ChatGPT is giving to us is correct. And there are various stages we can do that. First of all, literature access. If ChatGPT is giving us information, or once it gives us that idea, we can begin to explore tools like we on our own begin to explore tools like databases like the Scopus, Web of Science, PubMed, Google Scholar. The reason is that ChatGPT is not very good when it comes to database or scholarly article. And the first presenter have told us that. So you on your own, take any of those topics, but you can use ChatGPT to generate your search terms. So take it to Google Scholar, that is free. Take it to Google Scholar and search those topics. Download the articles, then you can bring it back to search the ChatGPT. And yes, since we know that Google Scholar is free and Scopus is not free, if you don't have access to institutional database that have access to Scopus, this is why we are here in DIaDeRC. So you can collaborate with anyone, say, oh, I'm doing a literature review. Sorry. You can collaborate with someone. You can just reach out to any of us. I'm doing a literature review on this and I need papers from Scopus. Do you have access to Scopus? Am I audible, please?
Yes, you are, please. Sorry, I muted the person that was trying to talk. Sorry about that.
Okay. So you can collaborate with someone to get authentic literature or good peer-reviewed literature. So you have to do this by yourself, manually. You can also use Research Rabbit and Connected Paper to see other connected research on that topic you have. We may not be able to use Research Rabbit today, but what you need to do is pick up that topic, the topic you have chosen, or the paper you have downloaded from any of these Google Scholar or Scopus, take it to Research Rabbit and ask it to identify related paper to this. It would automatically suggest to you various papers that are related to that. You select the ones that are suitable for you, download it, and take it to Zotero. Zotero is a reference manager that will help you do that. The first presenter have taken care of this. So the Research Rabbit connected paper could help you mark the related studies according to their various clusters. And then you can now pick up any of those topics that suit you, take it back to ChatGPT for synthesis. So what you can now tell, you can tell the ChatGPT, I have attached 5, you can tell it, I've attached 5 abstracts or papers related to AI literacy and research productivity in African universities. I want to summarize and synthesize them responsibly for literature review. And here is the instruction for you. Produce concise thematic synthesis of this studies, group findings under 3 to 4 main themes, and identify any recurring or moderating variables indicating emerging gaps or inconsistencies. And the next is to give you the constraints and the expected outputs. And you watch ChatGPT do this for you. You can also use co-pilots. You can use co-pilots. You can use Cite AI, it has been mentioned before, Elicit to do this. But if you want to use this prompt, I think ChatGPT co-pilot will be better off, or Grok. And so many of them, you can check it out from Dr. Judy's work. So for responsible flow of literature review, I've just mentioned here, first of all, you can use ChatGPT or Gemini to generate the search terms. Then you go to, by yourself, manually, you go to Scopus database or any of the databases to generate to download or review, get the literatures themselves downloaded. Then you can take it to Research Rabbit to visualize and get more connected paper to it. Then take it back to ChatGPT or Elicit, attach those papers to have to help it to summarize them for you. Then you can now manually verify the summarized data by yourself. So let's take the phase 3. We're going to go back and so phase 3 is how you can also use theoretical and conceptual, how you can use AI for theoretical and conceptual framework development. You know, most of the time, when researchers are presenting their work, they struggle on this side of the work. So you can use ChatGPT to help you out. So here is the prompt. You're telling ChatGPT, you are developing a study, or I am developing a study on AI literacy and research productivity in African universities. You want to identify theorists in particular, that can explain how AI literacy influences research outcome. You can now ask it to suggest 2 to 3 frameworks that are conceptually relevant and aligned to this topic. For each of them, summarize the core principles and constructs, how it connects to AI literacy and productivity, recent scholarly applications, if available. Then you give it the constraints. It has to tell it first that it has to prioritize theories widely, widely cited in technology adoption or education research. So you tell it specifically what you want it to do and also let it know the expected outcome. And here are the sorry, what's going on? So here are the various tools that can help you to achieve this and how you can use them, each function for each of the tools. Let me go to the next slide. Now you want to, now, like I said, you use, the idea is from you, you use AI to identify to make it more robust, to give you what the topic would likely look like. And then you come back, you go to any of the databases, do the search, download the literature by yourself. You can download like 4 to 5, 10 literatures by yourself, then attach you can now attach the abstract of those literature to ChatGPT and ask it to summarize the findings from those, just like the last one we did. Then the next, you want to find out the conceptual framework. You want to develop the conceptual framework from the topic you have just decided to work on. Remember, you don't rely on that. Don't just take whatever it gives to you, hook, line, and sinker. Because those topics, you can see, when you look at them, they might not even make so much sense when you start working on it. But you have to start doing something, at least to give you a baseline to start from. So the prompts are just shared here. This is a short prompt that could help you convert the theoretical insight into a structured conceptual model. So based on the technological acceptance model, you want to illustrate the mechanism. You want to illustrate the mechanism by which AI literacy influences research productivity among university academics. So here is the instruction for you, AI. Construct a conceptual model showing how blah, 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 all these things are done. Then here is the constraint and the expected outcome. And when you give it that, remember, okay, let me go back to that. I have told it here, the last information here is, that's under the instruction, I say provide the output as graphics code and include a short interpretative explanation in less than 100 words. So graphics is another tool that you can use for a conceptual framework. It can help you to draw the diagram. You can use anything that has to do with the diagram, research-related diagram, graphics, Mermaid, there are so many of them. But graphics is free, and that's why I prefer that. So you can go to graphics as editor. So it will give you this. This is from ChatGPT to give you this. So you copy this and take it to graphics. So graphics will now generate the conceptual framework. We will try and see if we'll be able to complete this aspect. And there's no need for us. You can just go through that way. So in closing, we can see that AI responsible research flow, we can move from idea to the framework, configure AI tools responsibly, refine your ideas into a novel topic, conduct a structured literature review by yourself, identify theoretical basis using AI to support you. You can now finally summarize whatever it has given you manually, sit down and do that. And so a reflective final question, which stage of this AI-supported workflow will most improve your current research process, and how will you apply it? The key takeaways are here. You can check it up. We'll share the slides with you, but let's quickly go to confirm if you can still see my screen.
Yes,
And
Doc.
if you
Yes, Doc.
can, please tell me what you are seeing.
Example code to paste.
Example code to paste. So yes, so that means you are in the right place. So now let me use this is my, let me go to ChatGPT. So we want to see how we can configure ChatGPT so that we can share our data with it. Where is it? We can share our data with it without fear. Because why I said I recommend ChatGPT above other ones, because it respects data privacy. As a researcher and also a developer, I develop tools on AI. There was a time I developed a custom GPT and I asked ChatGPT to publish this for me. I intentionally wanted to try out its privacy level. And when I gave it the information, it told me that there are some sensitive information on this, that it will not publish it for public use, except I sign an undertaking that I am responsible for that. And I was so thrilled, I was excited. I said, wow. So since then, I trust ChatGPT because I set my data control and ask it not to play around with my data. This is how you can do that. So you go to where you have your picture or your DP or whatever, your account, just go to your account, click on it and go to settings. So we want to set it up. It's just one click. You go to setting, you see data control. Mine is off. Most time is always on. If
But
I go
please,
to,
if it's possible for those that can follow you to follow you, that maybe 1 or 2%, that would be great. Because this is actually very crucial for us, not of data control. So
can you see my screen?
I can see. So I'm just
Okay.
just using your laptop. If you can try it out now, that's great. Otherwise, it's because on YouTube. So you can also go to YouTube and watch it later on and try to do it yourself, because this is actually very crucial that your data is not tuned to the society. So please, this is actually very important. Thank you so much. Those that
Okay,
can follow, please follow. Otherwise, we can go right again on our YouTube and do it ourselves, possibly between today and tomorrow, because it's very crucial for our data privacy. Thanks so much, ma.
Okay, please confirm which of the screen, because I want to use the free version account for this, because maybe I want to assume that majority of us are using the free version. So I want to use the free version account. Which of my screen can you see? What are you working on? Is it what you're seeing?
As in data controls, general.
Okay, that means we're in the wrong screen. Let me change. Oh, share screen. I'm trying to stop sharing. Okay, let me reshare. Okay, new share. That is it. Okay, confirm which of the screen you are seeing now, please. Please confirm what they're seeing. Are you seeing my screen on ChatGPT reading? Yes. Upgrade to go?
Upgrade to go, yes.
Yeah. Good. So this is a free account, and I want to believe the majority of us are using the free account. So what you can do, if you come to, just go to chatgpt.com. I believe everyone knows where to go. So you come to where you have your account DP, click on it. Are you following? Then you go to settings. Under settings, you will see data control. There are various menus under setting. You have general, you have notification, personalization. I will come to personalization, but I'm not sure we'll have time for this, because this will help you to personalize your data, personalize the information ChatGPT generates for you, to speak your own tone, for your own voice, tone, and style. You can use this to it. So you can do this also on the free version. Data control. So under data control, this is where I'm much more interested in. You can also have, these are different things you can set up in your system. These are parental control if you have kids. Then this is under data control, you can see it is on. Improve the model for everyone is set on. By default, it is set on. And what this means is that every information you share, you type, you upload, you speak on ChatGPT, it will use it to improve itself. And while using it to improve itself, everyone can have access to it. So if you share any data, any other information, any kind of information, ChatGPT can use it in its memory. So this is where you just click on it, just one click, turn it off, toggle it. Sometimes it can be stubborn, so just toggle it off, done. That's all. You close this. Then if you are using very sensitive information, very sensitive, and you must, as a matter of must, you must use a generative AI to do some analysis on that. You can use you can turn on your temporary chat, but most times it's not always on. So what you can do to do that is to right click on your Google and go to incognito mode. I don't know how to pronounce it. Incognito window mode.
Yes, incognito.
So you click on it. I don't know. Can you see my incognito window mode?
Not yet. Was it in your previous ChatGPT?
This is the problem with this.
I think is that those are 3 small dots at the end near your picture. To go to incognito.
Okay, I don't know how you go to that. Let me share new. This is it. You should be seeing my incognito mode now. You should be seeing my incognito mode now, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So what you can just do, you go to ChatGPT, log into your ChatGPT account, and this is it. So when you come to incognito mode, it temporarily sets your chat. It sets it to temporal. So anything you do here will not be saved in the memory of the system. So it just ends there. So if you are using the incognito mode and you want the data, you want to use that data in future, make sure you save it somewhere, copy it and paste somewhere. Or if you're using the temporary chat, you can also turn on your temporary chat if you're using the regular browser. Yes, if you're using the Chrome browser, you can also set up the regular chat. But where you want to be sure that, okay, the temporary chat, where you want to be sure that everything you are doing ends there and then. After that, you won't have access to it again. But you can have access to it, I think now is up to 30 days. You can have access to it up to 30 days. But if you don't want your chat to be recorded, you just want to interact with the system, interact with ChatGPT, and then go to incognito mode and work on that. Okay, so that is that about setting your account. Then the next thing, the next thing we want to do now is let us, where is my, okay. So let's try out the chart we have shared there. How many more minutes do we have, Prof? Do I have? Let me see if I should just jump something and go to graphics.
Okay, I think this is very crucial. So if you can take maybe 10 more minutes, that'd be great. So
okay.
we can have room for Q&A.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. So let's assume that everything we have shared I've given you the prompts. You can modify the prompt to suit your need. And now we want to use what we have gotten. We have gotten the data, we have gotten the abstract, we have uploaded it to ChatGPT, it has summarized it for us, we have gotten the theories, all the prompts are there, you have access to the slide. Then you want it to help you to generate the conceptual framework based on what you have done so far. So what do we do? Let me copy this. So the code generated by ChatGPT for me, I will take it to, please confirm the screen you are seeing. Let me see.
Yeah. It says ready when you are.
Okay, where are you now? What can you see?
You can see code by the left side and a diagram by the right.
Okay, great. So this is the graphics. And so this is the graphic. So all you just need to do is to copy that code. Look at the code. Oh, when I'm using Zoom, Zoom stresses me because I use a lot of screen at the same time, moving from one screen to another. Or if I'm using the other ones, it's just once you have share entire screen, once you move, it moves with you. So what I did was I gave the prompt to ChatGPT, it generated this. Let me share this. It generated this for me. Can you see it? Can you see my ChatGPT here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. So it generated this prompt for me. I just copied it here and take it to graphics. Let me open graphics. And take it to graphics. This is my graphics share. So when I go to graphics, there is an existing code there. So I just right click and delete and paste my own chart and press enter. That's all. So it will generate, can you see the new conceptual model it has generated for me? Confirm if you can see the conceptual model. So yes, it's a conceptual model, AI literacy and research productivity, AI institutional support, this blah, 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 moderates, this is the moderating variable. And remember, I asked you to give me a summary of it. So I can take this code and take it back to you to give me a summary, assuming that I'm not comfortable with it. This is not what exactly I want. So I can still go back to ChatGPT and tell it that this is not what I want. Can you add this to it? Can you remove this from it? It gives me that. I copy the code. So it will just generate the code for me. I copy the code, paste it here, paste it on graphics. Graphics will give me the concept. So no matter how complex that conceptual framework is, graphics will generate it for you. I think we should stop here. Let's get some questions.
Wow, thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. If you can keep clapping your digital hands or because it's spiritual hands, please do. And all right, so thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have been treated to two wonderful, heavy dose menus from our wonderful experts from both the technical perspective and the sociological perspective. All right, so we have the privilege now to ask questions, clarification, and so we're going. If you can raise your hand, we can acknowledge it. Otherwise, we can write it on the chat here on Zoom platform, and also those on YouTube. Please, you're not left out. Write it out on YouTube. The comment, question, and team members will help us to read it out. We already have one hand raised. Okay, let me see another hand. Abdul, thanks so much to acknowledge you shortly. Let me check whether there are other hands raised. We have one already. Team member, please let's check our Zoom session and also YouTube session for comments. Okay, while others are coming, Abdul Hamid, please, Abdullah, go ahead and ask a question that we can take others shortly. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the true wonderful presentation. My first question is now with this conceptual model generated, if my supervisor should ask me how can I acknowledge that if you ask me, I say it's generated from ChatGPT, how can I write the reference to that? Secondly, again, the graphics, is it also a free version or is also it has paid and free version, and which one is much more effective? Then lastly, the prompt engineering aspect use, is it a uniform or somebody can also modify and put his own? Thank you very much. But this is a wonderful presentation, Prof. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abdul. We appreciate you so much for your kind comments. Yeah, Abdul has asked 3 key questions. Chiwe, do you want to come in there? Otherwise, there are a few other ones on the comments section. Should we read it out or you can see it? Or you want to take this one first?
Okay, let me answer, let me address before I forget it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're asking if your supervisor asks you who generated this, who prompted the ChatGPT to give you what it gave you. The idea came from you. So it is not ChatGPT that gave it to you. The idea came from you. And also, even when it gives you something, you sit down and refine to make sure that the human in the loop is part of it. And it's not just generating something that is out of the blue. Remember that it hallucinates. So you are there to verify that this content is authentic. That is that. Then the second one, the graphics is, you say if it is free. Yes, graphics is open source. That's why it is completely free. It's open source. And then there are other ones. Mermaid is there, but Mermaid after five prompts, it will tell you to pay or upgrade or to buy credit. So graphics for now is free. I don't know, probably they are still gathering information before they will begin to charge for it. LEC started for free. Copilot started for free. So these ones are free. When they are still building the application, they want people.
Yeah, okay. Let me also make a brief contribution to the second question that you asked her. Usually when you write at the end of your papers, there are some things you put where you put acknowledgements. If you can remember in your paper writing, you put ethical statement, disclosures, conflicts of interest. So under that place, you can just put disclosure. We talked about disclosure. You can just say that this work or this paper was supported by, or you use so and so thing, and you state exactly what you did and how you did that. Nobody is going to indict you or say that you are not original. As a matter of fact, it even makes you look more credible as a researcher when you make such disclosure after you've used. Thank you.
Okay, there's one more hand. After that, I will take those on the comments. Pope, Andrew, am I correct? Your hand is raised, so you can make it quick.
Yes, please.
Where you're joining us from, that would be great, so we know you're better. Thanks so much, Pope. Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good
My name is Phoebe, a postgraduate student from University of Uyo. I'm also a prose writer. I want to first of all commend the presenters today. It was a wonderful presentation and I really enjoyed it. So I have a question for Dr. Judith concerning AI too. I want to find out, what do I need to do if I actually prompt the AI with my own information? I just needed to pour more light on what I have actually developed. But after it has shed more light on what I developed and I submit the work, then they use the AI checker to check if I actually used an AI tool and they now said that the entire work was carried out by AI. What do I need to do to prevent such from occurring as a writer?
Okay, thank you for that important question. In fact, this same question you asked made me go look up certain people on how they have reacted to this same question. The truth is that even remember the example I gave about that professor that turned in people's work, his student work, and AI claimed ownership of that.
Yes.
Because AI is still developing, these are still developing issues around AI. And one author I respect so much, who is also an AI expert, also shared the same sentiment I'm sharing. So the only thing she advised is that she said that even one of her works, she turned it in, and ChatGPT claimed that this is 100% AI. And then she took it to the one that humanizes it. And then after humanizing it, she took it to turn it in also detected 75% and said that out of that 75%, 50% is AI generated, but this is actually her original work. So the thing is that this is something that we still have to grapple in the meantime. And I think that not many people who are very knowledgeable also understand some of these dynamics. And what I can say in conclusion is your ability to defend your work, being a subject matter expert. I have also been in that shoe. I wrote a paper, and when I submitted that paper, they brought it back to me and told me that this is about 80% AI. And I told them, look, how am I supposed to do this? Can I start changing? I didn't use AI for this paper. So the editor now said, okay, we understand all of these things, but see if you can just rephrase the words and, so these are emanating issues. And I believe that with time, with policies, AI policies that are coming up, these issues will be solved. But just know that at this point in time, there is no total agreement on these things, because even your work, I can assure you that even when you take your thesis, your undergraduate thesis, and paste it on AI, it will still detect that AI has written this. Unfortunately, this is the stage we are at this time.
Okay, thank you so much. Now it's getting more interesting. We have two hands raised already. I will take in that order. Ruth Adelogun. After that, we have Emmanuel Vincent. Make it quick and direct. Then we can now go to the comments on the comments. Thanks so much, Ruth. You have the space.
Yes, good evening. My name is Professor Ruth Adelogun from Federal University Wukari, Nigeria. The presenters, I want to really appreciate you. You did excellently well. The first presenter, in one of your slides, I saw something, disclaimer, saying I do not own rights to this compilation. It's really intriguing, really, because I have not come across such before. It's both fascinating and scary, kind of. And I like it though, but I want to ask, why putting such a disclaimer on a presentation? I hope you understand my question.
Yes, Prof. I think she did. Okay, she'll come answer you. Let's take one more, then connect together. Vincent Okenwa and Emmanuel, please. After that, Romanus, you are here, and then we'll answer the three together. Yeah.
Hello, Professor Evans Saboye. And good evening, colleagues. And I'm saying good evening. I hope it's evening everywhere around the world. Those that are in the US, good afternoon. So I'm not asking a question, but I want to make a contribution to this. Incidentally, I'm married to a computer scientist, actually a database administrator, and my son is studying computer science at Queen's University in the UK. And in other words, I live with computer people, and I can relate very well to the presentations by Dr. Chinwe and Dr. Judy. And I just wanted to add a voice to the clarity that has been brought in there. And I like how they train the, I think I also need to start with saying that I use AI a lot, mostly Gemini, and ChatGPT, and where I cannot, my wife and son borrow me AI, Canvas, and all that to do my graphics when I'm writing papers and all that. Nowadays, I don't go to them. I even generate graphics on AI and all that, and on ChatGPT and all that. There's a fundamental thing that the presenters said here, both of them, and I don't know if members got that clearly. And if they did, maybe some of these questions will not be coming, and that is disclosure. Those of us who've been publishing with Elsevier and Sage journals, I think Dr. Judith actually mentioned that you always make a statement. You are compelled upon submission to make a statement on use of generative. In fact, they give you a template that you just complete, and you state the particular AIs you used and the extent of use. You see, this whole thing of ethics, and I also have to have a disclosure here. I have a background in bioethics. I have an MSc in global bioethics. So talking from ethics, I've been doing research and developed a policy for my university on use of generative AI. This whole thing about AI is all about disclosure. It's all about transparency. It's all about saying that in this work, this is the level in which I engaged with AI. And I don't want to repeat what the presenters have eloquently and brilliantly presented, that AI is here with us. You either embrace them and become better of yourself, or ignore them and they outlive you and you become obsolete. And that's not true. We professors in the university, we need to start embracing. I give my students tasks and I tell them, if you go and put it in a ChatGPT, I will also test. When I put them on myself and I test, it tells me it goes beyond a particular, I tell them, come and defend it before me. And what has been said here, you find out you write your own paper and put it there and it tells you it is 90% AI. But what I found out, which I want to share with us here now, is this. There's a caveat. It said, if you ask it why it says it's AI, it tells you that your work, it's so the English, the tonation, the tenses and everything are so perfect that it goes beyond the humanistic ability. That is what it's using. So if you write very, very well, AI is likely going to dictate that it's AI written. So I was asking myself, should I now be speaking wrong English? So these are, like you said, these are debatable contests on use of AI. But what is important in all that would address this is disclosure. I use Grammarly to edit my work. I use ChatGPT to edit my work. I use graphics to generate my conceptual framework or to generate my images. I use Canvas. Just declare what you use and what you use. And like Dr. Judy, was it Dr. Judy or Dr. Shoma that said that? It even makes you have more credibility. That paper will sail through. And if they even have to come back to you, like Dr. Shoma said, they came back to you, tweak this and tweak that. It's just a matter of telling you to change one or two things. They have credibility because upfront you have declared. It is only when you don't declare that when they degenerate, it becomes infelicity. So this is not my presentation, but I just wanted to add that contribution to the presenter's voice and encourage us to embrace this AI, use them as much as we can, but we must be very, very transparent about our use and engagement with AI. Thank you, Professor, for giving me that time.
Wow, thank you so much. I think the summary is that disclosure, transparency. Thank you so much. Yeah, I will take the last hand up, and then we now go back to the presenter for responses and take some comments on the comment section. Dr. Romanus, please, you have the space, and then after that, allow our excellent presenters to respond. And I will also read out some of the comments in the chat. Thank you so much. Romanus, over to you, sir.
Yes, but mine is not a question. It's just a 1 cent contribution. So first of all, I appreciate the presenter, Dr. Judith and Dr. Chinwe. Just a brief contribution to what Dr. Chinwe said on regarding how to download papers, references, and graphics. So, for example, I want to encourage our scholars, if you review for journals published by a CVR, they will give you access to Scopus. I think it's 40. If you review one paper for them, they will give you access. So any paper indexed on Scopus, you can download them. Then also the same thing applied to Emerald. If you review or publish with Emerald, they give you access for 90 days. They give you about 40 articles downloadable freely. So I'm encouraging our scholars, for instead of rushing to ask for help in downloading, please endeavor to review for CVR journals, Emirate journals, so that you have access to databases so that you can download the free article. Also, another thing I want to say regarding the issue of fake references. What I do when I'm doing literature review, I use Writeless AI. Writeless AI, I think that does not give fake references, but there's no free access that you have to subscribe to use that. So I do that because when I was using ChatGPT to write, I noticed there was one incident like that. I saw a reference that has my name. When I look at this study, I said, this study, I have not published anything like that. That's what I noticed. So in some cases, what I do, if I want to use ChatGPT to do a review, what I do, I'll just go to database or specifically Google Scholar. So I put those studies, for example, if I want to review like 10 studies, I put them in referencing from, let's say, in APA format. I put them, then I paste it on ChatGPT. I say, ChatGPT, I want to review, don't go beyond these 10 references that I've uploaded. I want to review this manuscript in so number of words. So if I do that, I have escaped fake references. So I know fully well that those 10 references that I have uploaded, ChatGPT will not go beyond that. So if you don't do that, there's every possibility, in fact, 90% possibility that ChatGPT will give you fake references. And to go through references, it's very difficult. If you imagine you're having a manuscript of 10, 15,000 words, and you have a lot of manuscripts references up to 100, 200, you go in and check one by one, it will be very difficult. So what I do I will start avoiding this fake reference right from the very first step of writing. Thank you. That is a 1 cent contribution I wanted to add.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Romanus. Yes, Chinwe, there's a short question from Professor Roof to Dr. Judith. You can answer that question. There are two commentators actually give addition to your comment, but there's only one question from Professor Roof. If you can answer, that would be great. About
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I can answer that. Thank you so much, Professor. I really appreciate your question. But before I answer that, I also want to appreciate the two contributors who have also spoken excellently well and expanded on what we have said. Disclosure cannot be overemphasized. Let me give just a short typical example. I was reviewing for one journal, and this author, you can know that just leaning, expanding on what Prof said for our own knowledge, the writing of this author was so perfect. But when you read from the abstract up until when he used AI to write, there is a disjoint in the language, in the tone, and in the statements. It was so perfect, but different from what I read in the introduction. So I wrote the editor and I said, okay, this, that, correction. I didn't even want to tell the editor that AI was used, okay? But what I did was that I gave them some corrections to go and make based on method and methodology. And I am sure that they took my comments, pasted it on whichever AI they are using, say ChatGPT, and it gave them a very perfect response, but did not address my concern and my comments. At the end of the day, unfortunately, the paper was eventually rejected. So AI can either make you or mar you. So the earlier you begin to learn how to use it, just like Dr. Romano said, you go and, even guide AI. That's why we said that AI should be a support, your assistant, and not your leader. So on the question Prof asked, Prof, I didn't compile those. I saw them somewhere and I felt it's something that could be very useful to the ASMN community, which is a team of researcher. I mean, it's part of what we are talking about. Unfortunately, I wish I knew the name of the person that compiled it. I would have also given that person credit. So it's just a way of giving credit to whom credit is due to. I do not own that compilation, but I felt it's something that could be very insightful. But I will still check the name so that if we are putting the slide out there, the rightful person who has taken his or her time to compile it should be duly acknowledged. Thank you very much, Prof.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. There's one on YouTube, please. Let's read that. Team member, read it out that.
So the name was not given, but the person wanted to know if will the AI override plagiarism check? That's the question. From one digital bookcamp. That's the
Okay, from YouTube, will AI override the plagiarism check? Okay, that's one. Let's take other ones on here. There's another one on the Zoom here. Very interesting and eye-opening. Thanks for the presentation. Can you give the breakdown of how to create the code generation and use of the graphics for the conceptual framework? That's for, I think that should be for Chinwe. That's for Mark asked that question to Chinwe. Another one again, could you please help me for this section generation of graphics? The other one again is again on graphics from Marufat Adetunde. How do I get the graphics in my system? Now Florence Mabo, she said, I'm so confused. I can't make of anything anymore. I don't know what it means. So please, Chiwe and Judith, you can respond to these ones. There's one comments. Please, let's take the one for YouTube first. Would AI replace the plagiarism or another one? Thanks, one. Plagiarism. Thanks so much.
Okay, will AI replace plagiarism? I don't really understand that question, but if I could make something out of it, AI, if you use AI, you know it's AI signature. I don't use plagiarism checkers for my work because I know they are fake and we have seen a lot of it. So what I do, I make sure I don't use exactly the content given to me by AI. And being a technical person, a lot of things, information AI gives me are not realistic. They are not even implementable. It's when you get to the lab, you discover that those things will not work. So when it starts bringing them out from the beginning, I'll begin to probe it. I said, this is not realistic. This is not feasible. This will, you to tell me, yes, Chinwe, you're right. Do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. So I use it so much, but when it gives me information, I want to implement that information. When students bring their work and tell me that this is the topic they want to work on, I'll tell them, because we are from computing, I'll tell them, go and implement it first. When you get results, you come back. And that's when that's where they will have issue, because when they get their information from AI, it tells you so much stories that the hallucination is there. So when it comes to plagiarism, we cannot depend on AI to check plagiarism. That's just the truth of it. Also, as a professor, as a lecturer, you know, you need to be using AI. When you give your students something or assignment or a work to do, go and try it out in AI. Get yourself acquainted with what AI will give you in that context. Get ready for the student when they submit and guide them and walk them through on how they will be able to handle information like that. Then other questions about graphics. If you check out the slides, we'll share the slides after the work. You have access to the slide. In the slides there, all you need to do is the conceptual framework you want to develop. Just give the idea to ChatGPT. Tell it to develop a code for conceptual framework. The prompt for it is also there in the slide. Just copy that code. Tell it to generate the code for you, to generate the code for you. So whatever code it generates for you, mention specifically that you want to use it for graphics. Then you pick that code, take it to graphics. I've just shared the link to graphics.com, their online editor. Go to graphics.com, paste it there to give you the diagram immediately. And it is free for now, it is free. And there are other tools you can use. You can use Mermaid. Mermaid is free, but after five editing, it will tell you to have to go for the paid version. The eraser is also there. You can use eraser, and so many of them are there for conceptual framework. Draw.io is also there. So any of them that you make you feel more comfortable. And someone is asking if you need to get it on your laptop. You can use the online editor. I think it also have, but I use the online editor. I think it also have a desktop desktop version where you need to download it to your system, but I've not used the desktop version. I'm comfortable with the online editor. Sometimes some of the desktop version, you need to install one thing, they will give you condition for how it will work. So most times, if it has option for online editor, I just go and use the online editor version of it. I don't know if I've answered the question, the 3 questions that are related to graphics.
Okay. Thank you so much. We are about to move towards next item. Okay, so before then, if you can put on your camera, please do let us so that my media team ask me for the screenshot. Please accept you are in a place that is not camerable. Otherwise, we will ask you to quickly click on your camera. Yeah, camera that is a professional camera. That is, at least your face is worth seeing. Okay. Okay, thanks so much. I know some persons are in the dark, even though you can't see your face so dark, but we just try to manage see. Though someone's trying to distract me here, but I'll manage. Okay. One, let me take the first one. There we go. Okay, the first page taken. Second page. Judith, your face is missing in action. That was told. Second page. Taken, then the last page, the third page. Yeah. Third page. Good. Thank you so much. Yeah, we have a few minutes to go. I will just quickly take the last segment with some announcements and then closing.
Prof,
yeah.
I'm seeing someone is saying that it's not clear.
Yeah, no, somebody wrote that I'm confused with Florence, but I said her question was not clear. I don't know whether she want to ask it because she said I'm confused. I don't know what to do. So asking her, is Florence in the house? Florence, yeah, we can allow you to answer it. She made a comment that from all you have heard over Lakesh, the AI issues like becoming overwhelming to her. I think that's what I can. But I want to also say that the document didn't say it, but I will also refer to that shortly. I'm trying to take us through the last segment announcement. I think I will start on the and by next week, what is that next week we have can you see my screen? I want to be sure you are seeing it for close. Can you see my screen? Can we see my screen? Yeah, so by next Sunday, same time, we have Romanus coming together with Solomon taking up an issue about publication, what it takes and all that. And I think Romanus was talking part of it just now. So let's get set for same time next week on that. So that's the first announcement. Next one is so same time next week, we have that same link. Next announcement I want to make is some of the opportunities we have at DIaDeRC. The one that concerns us most now is the one that, yes, I mentioned earlier, and thanks for those already making an effort to join. So how about the premium membership? This online is free, and but afterwards, we want to go closer with us on this journey. We have this platform called as premium membership. If you go to their website, you just click join the network. It will give all of the benefits. There are so many. One, we'll give you as soon as subscribe, you have the badge, and then two, you can have access to recommendation letter, reference letter, and even our direct email address when it's used in case you need institutional email address you don't have. We have that option. I want to announce that some of Dr. Judith was part of those that were part of us in ASMN 1.0, and she's gone so well now. She's doing postdoc, and she's now working with, she's now on direct contributing as well. So the good news that is a platform that to bring people closer that can able to contribute to African scholarships. So please check it out and subscribe. You'll be glad you did. It's a token for that. Some have also been asking whether there will be certificates. Yes, there will be the sample, but there are two major criteria. One is after each episode, we give exercise. You have to complete exercise, and then two, you have to subscribe to our premium membership. We'll leave this exercise open till end of the training, and we expect that people that can onboard before November 28th will be onboarded, and at the end of the day, by 7th of December, we do the onboarding. So let's take advantage of that, and you'll be glad you did. The onboarding is set for 7th of December for those who can subscribe before then. These are also on our website. If you go to event page, you see all our program for the year and even after now. So yes, thanks so much. When I check us at 5 p.m. today, 93% have completed their exercise. That's quite encouraging, but we can do more. So those of us that register for the events, after today's event, we will also, by tomorrow Monday or between tomorrow Monday and Tuesday, we will also place the exercise for episode 2 for today's lesson. Is to be sure that you are learning as well, because before we started ASMN premium, ASMN exercise, ASMN series, I have to undertake a training on the online pedagogy. And so these are one of the things we learned, is to be sure that learning is taking place. It will give you the privilege to go over it again. So those of us are saying encouraged to take it. So we'll still leave as one available, open, and by between now and on Tuesday, that of us is still be available, so you can take it as well. And just for this series, there are 3 of them we'll take from episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. And so we'll still leave them open to the end of the training. So let's also complete our exercises. And I also wonder that those that took it, like we're not playing actually for God's sake. It's serious. If you score anything less than, what's the summary? You see your scores. If you score anything less than 40, it means I didn't try. Please, over 50 is not good enough. So as so if you score less than 40, please, you need to retake it again, so that it's part of the thing to be sure that you're actually going through the process. So I expect that you go through the video again before you answer it. So but between today and Tuesday, we'll make exercise 2 available. So let's take it. God bless you. The other one again, Romanus, we'll mention it next week more, is our journal is open now. We have over close to 40% submitted. You will see how we can also be part of knowledge contribution Okay, so it's a journal that focuses on institutional development. It's a research journal, and like I mentioned last week, we have a Nobel laureate on our advisory boards and other experts. So to show that the journal is actually will make mileage by God's grace, once we start growing, it will be dense in the way as many places as possible to have such African voice to this kind of a discourse on institutions and development. This one, as also mentioned, this is our bespoke channel where we create videos that address. So when we see issues that have been becoming common again, Q&A, which any of our team members can put together and create on it. Like there's one that Dr. Chiu did some months ago on AI. So as we get more comment, we'll create a video on it. On this is the channel will do that to also reach out to our global audience. I mentioned this one earlier, the book launch coming on December. But more importantly, this one that I started to mention it is that Chiu gave us a tip of the iceberg on AI. But there's a course. Thankfully, we did that course this year. Thanks to Chiu, who developed that course with another lady from US, Tosin. So we did the first version, class 1.0, and it was, I think, about 50% registered. It was quite interesting on data science, machine learning, AI, prompt, all of that, natural language processing, deep learning covered. So with that, we have been encouraged now to apply for 2.0, holding between 15th of February to 5th of 15th of March, 15th of February to 5th of April, and it's on our website. Go to the event, you see it, so you can check it out and you to plan ahead of time for it, and you'll be glad because it's really loaded. And one thing that is done on learning, so I both live session, also both LMS portal, learning management system. So as soon as you are done, you have your certificates ready. So so about the live session and this other one online portal. So let's check it out. We did. Once again, I want to say thank you so much for your time, and we'll pause now. Then take either a final question. We have a few minutes to go. Let's take it. There's another comment on YouTube. Okay, somebody's asking when is the deadline for payment? I think I mentioned it just now. Between now and therefore, if you're subscribing for ASMN premium membership between now and 28th of November, so that we can be part of those that we onboarded for the onboarding in December. But we encourage that before the session ends out, before 16th November, also try so we can be part of those that will be issued certificates on that final day of ASME 6.0. About that question, Chidi, about that question? Okay, somebody's asking me, okay, when is the deadline? This one I mentioned it, preferably before 16th, which is the final date, but we'll send it as well to 28th. Okay. This one, I think it's on. I will just place the link there. Everything is on our website, so I will don't spend time on that. You can check it out. So the website, I will just place the link. Or once you go to our website, just click join the network. Let me put the link there for us. Let me just copy the link. Yeah. Okay. Any other question? Let me copy the link there. Okay, that's the link. So you click on the link and you have different categories. Those are gone through our training before. There are different categories of that. So is there? Okay. Any other quick question? It's almost just 1 minute to go. Thank you so much, to you here, Judith. Okay. Any final question from anybody or from our visitors? Any final words? Okay, this is really an opening. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Dele from online. Okay. Judith and Chiwe, final words as we close.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for all the participants. Thank you for all the contributors, especially Dr. Romanos, the Prof. Emmanuel, and every other person that contributed to the success of today's and even our participants. And then just like Prof mentioned about the CAT too, the CAT is a training for data science. So once you have your data sets or you're interested in doing research and you're working with data, you can join us in that training. And the last cohort we had a capstone project where everyone was meant to, we had a group, like 6 groups, and all the participants were groups, and they were meant to come up with a project, with a data set, do analysis, and we encourage them to get it ready for publication. So very soon we'll start harvesting manuscripts from that cohort. So if you want to be part of it, it's open for the next cohort, which is 2.0. Welcome everyone who is interested. Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you. I hope
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, the leadership of the ASMN and DIaDeRC and the community members. It's always a pleasure, being here. Like Prof said, I started like everyone from 1.0, and look at me now. This community has really propelled me, pushed me, gave me platform and collaborations. So as a suggestion, as an advice, I want to encourage everyone to please take this community as a family with respect, collaborate with one another. When you are given a task to work on, because I know that very soon for those of you that will be subscribing to the premium membership, you are going to get a lot more from the community. Some people have gone ahead, to win grants. Some people have, been on global platform through this community. So let's all continue to unlearn and relearn, and put everything into practice. And as Dr. Chinwe said, very soon we'll be coming up with specialized training, because timing is not there to delve in detail everything we're supposed to talk about. So when that opportunity comes up, kindly avail yourself. In the last one, I learned that someone paid for others, but we're not going to let the cat out of the bag for now until we are ready to, and announce the program. So thank you once again for joining, and we look forward to having you again next week.
Okay, thank you so much. Judith to the Chinwe, has been an eye-opener indeed. Yeah, for the cards, I think Chinwe and her collaborator has given us dates. So, like I mentioned, is February to April. But we're open for early birds, which will run between now and December. I just posted on our chat here, and also on our the WhatsApp group, also there, and the link again for those on Premier Group. So let's check it out. So we started 5 minutes past. So I want to end 5 minutes past. 0 minutes more. Thank you so much. So by next Sunday today is 2 plus 7 is 9, on the 9th of November, we'll meet again same time. I know we're in different time zone, but I appreciate. I know people from joining from Asia very almost at midnight. Those in Kenya and Uganda are 2 hours ahead of us. We appreciate your time; is worth it. And in case you miss anything, those are someone say I came late. Please, it's on YouTube. Go over it again and again and again. By, like I mentioned earlier, between tomorrow and Tuesday, we'll share the exercises link so we can get it done. On that note, I want to thank you so much. By the way, happy new month. This is the first time I'm seeing us for this month of November, the 11th month of the year. So we trust God that it shall be a great month for us. 11th month, 11th hour miracle. And this year will end well for us. So I will see you, all of you, again same time next week for another wonderful session publication. So you can always invite your friends, but not on the to register, but to join on YouTube. YouTube is free to transmit. Those are good registered, but those are registered. Always join on Zoom like this. Once again, it's 5 minutes past the hour. So we have spent about 2 hours maximum. I don't want to keep us waiting for too long. Thanks so much. Florence, thanks so much. You were calling before, maybe you just out. Okay, on that note, I will say thanks so much. So I will stop the recording.